Subscribe to Shiksha Online and click on the bell icon for more updates.
Hello students, in today's lesson we are going to talk about change management. The topics that we are going to cover in this lesson are the concept of change, strategic change, types of change, reactive versus proactive change, levels of change, change at organizational level, causes to resistance of change, causes of organizational change, strategies to overcome resistance to change, planned change. And finally, we are going to study about Levin's change model and another model given by the same writer, that is force field analysis. Now let us start with the concept of change. आपने अक्सर लोगों को कहते हुए सुना होगा, वो बदल गया है, उसमें काफ़ी बदलाव आ गया है. And more often than always, people talk about change in a negative perspective. But change is the only thing which is permanent. And that is the basic concept of change. Change can be in any aspect. Change from the business point of view is change in the way people are recruited, change in way work processes are done, change in the way management thinks, change in product, variations in product, introduction of new technology. All these are the perspectives of change. And believe you me, the only thing which is most important in today's dynamic world in business is change. If businesses do not change or they do not adapt themselves to the changing environment, they will perish. Imagine, was it possible to still work with typewriter had we not changed from typewriters to computers? Do you still buy old-fashioned mobile phones? No, because you have changed or upgraded yourself from mobile phones to smartphones. Now we have smart TVs, age-old TVs, black and white TV changed to colored, colored changed to LCD, LCD changed to LED. All this wouldn't have happened if we have not changed, if the technology had not changed. So from business point of view, change is the most important concept. Now when we're talking about change from business perspective, the most important thing is strategic change. Now let us understand what is strategic change. Strategic change is the change which is brought in the business strategy. Strategy we all know, the plan, the tactics which the business does to use in the market. So whatever plan or strategy business has, it has to keep on changing it according to the market dynamics. These changes can be in terms of technology. Whenever there is a new technology, a new change has to be brought in the product. So the product life cycle is dependent on the technology life cycle. In the previous lesson, we have talked about product life cycle. And product life cycle, whenever a new product is introduced, it is primarily based on some or the other technology. As soon as the technology changes, we have to bring a change in the product, and many a times we have to introduce a new product. For example, when pagers came, immediately at the same time mobile technology came into existence. So companies like Motorola, which were working on pagers, had to immediately shift or change their strategy to mobile phones. So that is why change is very, very important in a business when there is a change in technology. Then second aspect is changes in market conditions. Market conditions change quickly. Market is not static, it's a dynamic area. And a business has to respond to the changes requirement of the market. For example, if the consumer trends change, buying preferences of the customers change. In the previous lessons, we have discussed how people are moving from offline shopping to online shopping. So that is also a changes in the market condition. If the market is changing and the business is not responded to that change, the business will be out of market very soon. Then another important change is the social change. Society changes. Although culture is more or less static, but it keeps on adapting or bringing in new aspects into it. Gone were the days when people had a narrow-minded approach. Now our society is adapting to the Western cultures. Earlier we used to have vada pav. Now we have the same thing in form of burgers. So we call it burger, isn't it? You like burgers a lot. You are moving from street food to fast food. Samosa, tikki, this was something earlier. So you all like burgers, don't we? And we all move from aloo tikki to aloo tikki burger. So McDonald's has changed the way we perceive everything. And if the marketers, our local marketers, do not respond to these social changes, then what will happen? They will be out of market or they'll be out of business. Profit. When a business talks about, we all know that business is about profit. And if there is no profit, the business will not survive. And for profit to come, a business has to understand the consumer needs and requirements and adapt their product and strategy according to the needs and requirements of the society. So social changes also bring in change in the strategy of a business organization. Then a very, very important change is political forces, government schemes, policies. All these have a direct impact on the business. We all know business had to adapt to a new form of receiving the money after demonetization. GST has changed the whole scenario of taxing system. Of course, this has affected the consumer, and when consumer is affected, directly or indirectly, the business is affected. So therefore, all these aspects, whenever there are certain changes in these aspects, a business has to respond by making changes in their strategy. Now let us see what are the various types of changes. We have changes in knowledge. Today's society is knowledge-based society. Knowledge is the power, and every customer has knowledge about something or the other. And now people have become close. How? Because of the internet. They are chatting with each other on Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp. All this leads to percolation of knowledge. So when people are knowledgeable, the marketer cannot fool the customer anymore. The marketer has to change its strategy and provide the knowledge to the customer. Now when you go to the market and buy a product, let's say a food product, let's say a beverage, what do? First thing you do is you check the label for the ingredients. How much calories, how much fat. Don't we check this knowledge? We check this knowledge. And if the marketer is not providing all this information, we try to avoid such products. So therefore, the business has to adapt its strategies according to the changes in knowledge. The next aspect is change in information and techniques.